to make writer's block irrelevant. And I'll give you 4 practices to ensure inspiration and flow consistently in your creative practices, in your life, with whatever you want inspiration towards, whatever you're building, whatever you're creating. Now, writer's block doesn't just apply to writers or writing, and I'll tell you why. Because writer's block is a block of your creative flow, all right? It's a block of your creative flow. It's ultimately self-sabotage. That's what writer's block really is. It's a form of self-sabotage. It's an expression or an indicator of self-sabotage. And it's pretty simple to dissolve, okay? And we're going to talk about that. So think about this. No one gets thinker's block. Actually, people think too much and they can't stop their thinking. No one gets talker's block either. No one really has a hard time with those things, thinking, talking. But why with writing? Why with writing do people freeze up and not know what to do and they get writer's block? It's because we've been programmed to think that writing has to be a certain way. We're taught in school that it has to be formal. There's all these rules, all this grammar. So that creates so many conditions and inhibitions around the process of writing. And that's one big aspect of it. And the other aspect is it's ultimately self-sabotage. You're blocking yourself. You have these self-doubts that are manifesting through that. So because writing is something that we've all been taught has to be a certain way or formal, it really brings out those self-doubts, the self-sabotage, the fears, the unworthiness, anything like that. It could be any of those for you or different ones. It really brings that out. And here's how to overcome that. So what's the solution? It's simpler than you think, but it requires some practice, okay? The solution is ultimately drop your inhibitions and flow, okay? Drop your inhibitions and flow with it, okay? But how? Of course, it's easy to say, but how do we actually do this? How do we drop our inhibitions and flow? There are 4 practices that I'm going to share with you here to dissolve writer's block and access your creative flow on demand whenever you want. You know, consistent access that you'll never lose to that creative flow. And like I said, this doesn't just apply to writing. It applies to anything creative, anything where you're trying to channel inspiration to build something. So practice number 1 here to dissolve writer's block. This is so important. Free writing daily, okay? Just write your stream of consciousness. This is the most powerful form of journaling. Just write out your stream of consciousness every day. So what's the importance of this? It teaches your mind and body what uninhibited flow feels like, okay? You're practicing uninhibited flow by just writing your stream of consciousness, just free writing. And if you do this every day, you'll never have writer's block ever again. And if you were to do any practice, it would be this one, because this alone will make writer's block completely irrelevant for you, okay? So free writing, just write your stream of consciousness every day. Practice number 2, prompt organic intelligence. And just remember that you don't have to do all of these practices. This isn't like you have to do this every day and this every day. These are just like a buffet for you to choose from. And if you were to pick one, it would be free writing. But all of these are important and will build your skills and build your creative inspiration and your connectivity to your inner genius in different ways, in unique ways, okay? So practice number 2, prompt organic intelligence. I call it OI, organic intelligence. So tap into your intuition or higher power, whatever you want to call it. God, source, your intuition, the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's tapping into a higher power and intelligence beyond that of your ego and your analytical mind. And you create focused space to do this. That's how you do it. You create that space. It might be like meditation or prayer or deep breathing to tap into that space. And you can prompt yourself with questions by asking yourself interesting questions that could prompt flow. Like, what's arising within me right now? Or what if I approached it this way? Things like that. Find ways to prompt yourself with questions. And you can also ask yourself follow-up questions. Like, let's say you're writing and you stall out. Ask yourself a follow-up question. Why? What is this? Things like that. So follow-up questions help you maintain the flow as well. And here's another tip. The best method I found to prompt OI, organic intelligence, is called heart coherence. So heart coherence really gets you out of that overthinking head, and it gets you in your heart and connected with higher intelligence, okay? So how you do this is you just place your hands on your heart, breathe slowly and deeply, and then you feel a positive emotion. It could be gratitude, joy, love, peace, appreciation, whatever it is. You pick a positive emotion and feel it while you have your hands on your heart and you're breathing slowly and deeply. All it takes is a few seconds of doing this for you to get into the state of heart coherence. And this opens you up to your intuition, higher intelligence, gets you out of that overthinking, overanalysis mode. So once you feel a bit calmer, you feel more open, you feel more clear, then you can prompt yourself with a question or intention, and then boom, you're off to the races, flowing and writing. And flowing brings us to the next one. Practice number 3 is flow state. So inducing flow state. Practice getting into flow state. And a few easy, simple ways to do this. One is to gamify things. So some ways to gamify things: set a timer and focus 100%. I do this a lot, especially when I'm struggling to focus. I'll set a timer for 20 minutes and be like, I'm writing this and this is all I'm doing for 20 minutes straight. No looking away at something else, no checking my phone, no checking email, just 100% focus for a short amount of time. That gets you into flow state. You could also set a mini goal for a session. Okay, let's say for a writing session, you have a goal of writing 500 words, okay? That gamifies it and gets you into that focused flow state because you're gamifying it, okay? Those are just some ways to gamify writing or other things too. You can come up with your own. You can make some kind of game out of it yourself. Other ways to get into flow state: play music that helps you focus. I like a lot of instrumental or frequency music when I want to get into flow state that way. I don't write with music all the time, but sometimes I'll leverage that. Music with words tends to disrupt the flow. Another one is keep your environment clean. The cleaner your space, the easier it is to focus. If you're in a cluttered space, it's harder to focus. And then practice number 4, outlining. The more you outline, the less long-term creative blocks you have, okay? This is so important for longer pieces, like if you're writing a book or things like that. If you have an outline, you're just going to keep flowing through the process because you know, okay, this is what I want to talk about next. So log all of your ideas. Build the habit of writing down your ideas so you can have outlines for things, and you organize your outlines as bullet points. And then for those longer pieces, you can refer to your outline for guidance. Like I said, so you know what to write next. So you're never like, I don't even know how to continue this. Outlining helps you break through that. And you can find your own balance. You don't have to outline every detail. You'll find the balance between outlining and just free-flowing. Because let's say you're writing a novel. Maybe you don't want to outline every detail. You want to leave some room to like spontaneously create things while you're writing and experience that magic. So you might just outline some of it and then leave yourself space to flow spontaneously. So that's outlining. Here's a quick summary of the 4 practices to help you dissolve writer's block. Free writing, just writing your stream of consciousness. That's the most important one if you were to pick any of these, okay? Prompting organic intelligence, practicing that. Practicing getting into flow state, and then outlining. Those are the 4 practices. And again, you don't have to do all of these at once. Treat it like a buffet. You could pick whatever and try it out, okay? And if you want to access a continuous flow of higher inspiration, if you want to express your unique genius through writing, if you want to leverage writing to create new opportunities for yourself and use writing as a tool for spiritual awakening, then check out my Soulful Writing Collective. I'll put the link in the description or wherever I can put links. This is my community. It's an amazing space where we help you with all this community setting, blending spirituality and writing. We're writing from the soul. We're living the inspired life together and opening up new opportunities for us all in every aspect of life. So if you want to use writing for awakening, for self-realization, to create new opportunities in life, in business, in your relationships, it applies everywhere because we're going deep and writing from the soul. So if you vibe with that, I'll put the link wherever I can, and I hope to see you in there, and I hope you got value from this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you.